Falling in love is rarely loud at first. It often begins quietly, tucked inside the small actions and subtle behaviors that are easy to miss if you're not paying close attention. A man who is developing deep feelings doesn't always come right out and declare them. Instead, his affection shows up in the little ways he treats you differently from everyone else. The truth is, love doesn't usually arrive with fireworks. It arrives with consistency, care, and a shift in the way he looks at you, listens to you, and chooses to be present in your life. Every relationship starts with curiosity and attraction, but when his feelings deepen, the signs grow harder to hide. He may not always have the words to say, "I'm falling for you," but his actions often say it louder than any confession could. The way he notices details about you, the way he protects your happiness without even realizing it, and the way he rearranges his priorities just to make room for you. These are all powerful signals that he is not just interested, but emotionally invested. The beauty of these signs lies in their sincerity. They are not rehearsed or planned. They surface naturally because his heart is leading him. You'll see it when he holds your gaze a little longer, when he remembers things you thought were small, or when he shows up at your side during your most difficult moments. These are not random acts. They are reflections of a man who is building a connection that matters to him deeply. His world begins to expand around you, and you'll notice that your presence shapes his decisions, his mood, and even his sense of purpose. Recognizing these signs can help you understand not only where he stands, but also how much value he places on you in his life. Too often, people overlook these quiet gestures, searching instead for grand declarations. Yet love often speaks in whispers. The man who is falling harder may not shout it from rooftops, but he will show it in ways that are consistent, meaningful, and impossible to fake. It's in the sacrifices he makes without complaint, the respect he shows for your opinions, and the tenderness that appears when you least expect it. In this guide, we'll explore 15 powerful signs that reveal when a man is falling harder for you every single day. These signs are not dramatic or exaggerated. They are rooted in real human psychology and emotional connection. Each one reflects the gradual transformation that happens when interest turns into devotion, when liking turns into love. If you've ever wondered whether his feelings are deepening, these subtle yet undeniable actions will give you the clarity you need. By the end, you'll understand that falling in love isn't about the big moments. It's about the everyday choices that prove he's choosing you, again and again, without hesitation. He maintains longer eye contact. And that alone can reveal so much about what is going on inside his heart. When a man truly begins to fall for you, his eyes become the first messenger of his feelings. Prolonged eye contact is not just about attraction, it is about connection. It is the unspoken language where his gaze lingers a little longer than normal because he is captivated, unable to look away. Unlike casual glances, this kind of eye contact feels steady and intentional, as if he is trying to read you, and at the same time let you read him. It creates an invisible bridge of intimacy where words are not needed. This behavior is not accidental, because human psychology often reveals emotions through the eyes before the lips find the courage to speak. When he looks at you longer, he is silently telling you that you matter, that your presence is valuable enough to hold his full attention. In those extra seconds of looking, he may be imagining a future with you, admiring you deeply, or simply losing track of time. It is his subconscious way of saying, "You are special," without breaking the moment with ordinary conversation. Sometimes his gaze might soften when he listens to you, showing that he is not just hearing your words but feeling them. Other times you may notice a flicker of nervousness in his eyes because vulnerability comes with falling for someone. That nervous energy hidden behind a smile makes the eye contact even more meaningful. When a man consistently holds your gaze, in this way, it is a powerful sign that his emotions are growing stronger and that his interest in you is far deeper than simple attraction. Through his eyes, he lets you see the truth he might not yet be ready to say aloud. He finds excuses to be near you, and though it might look casual on the surface, it is often a quiet sign of growing affection. When a man is falling harder, his actions naturally gravitate toward your presence. He may volunteer to help with small tasks, suggest running errands together, or suddenly appear in places you often go. These excuses are not random. They are carefully chosen opportunities to spend more time around you without making it obvious that he is drawn to you. His desire to be physically close is rooted in a need for emotional closeness, a longing to feel connected even through the simplest of shared moments. Often these excuses can feel subtle, like asking about something he already knows, borrowing a pen he doesn't really need, or finding reasons to walk in your direction. He may offer to help carry your things, fix something minor, or linger a little longer when a conversation is about to end. To him, every small excuse is a doorway to create more memories, to stretch the moments where you are together just a bit longer. It is not about the activity itself, but about the comfort and joy he feels in your presence. This behavior reveals vulnerability too. Instead of declaring his feelings directly, he uses action as his voice. He shows up where you are because he feels happiest when you are around. Even if he tries to play it off as coincidence, the pattern eventually becomes clear. His path bends toward yours more often than chance would allow. When a man consistently finds these excuses, it is his way of saying, "Being near you makes me feel alive," without putting it into words. His heart speaks through his choices, and his choices keep leading him to you. He remembers small details about you. He remembers small details about you, and that is one of the clearest signs that his feelings are running deeper than casual interest. Most people forget everyday conversations, but when a man is falling for you, even the tiniest things you mention become treasures in his memory. He recalls your favorite coffee order, the story about your childhood pet, or the way you once said, "Rainy days make you feel peaceful." These little details may seem unimportant to others, yet to him they carry meaning, because they are pieces of you. Remembering them is his way of proving that he listens closely and values every word you share. This attentiveness shows that his mind is not wandering when you speak. He is fully present. He stores away the small fragments of your personality, weaving them into how he sees you. Later, he may surprise you by bringing up something you forgot you even told him, and that moment reveals how carefully he has been paying attention. It is not about showing off his memory. It is about quietly proving that you matter enough for him to notice and remember what others might overlook. When a man makes the effort to hold on to these details, it reflects emotional investment. He wants to know you not just on the surface, but in the deeper layers where your true self lives. His memory of your likes, dislikes, and habits becomes the foundation of how he interacts with you, making you feel seen and understood. This level of thoughtfulness is not accidental. It is deliberate, shaped by the affection growing inside him. In every remembered detail, his feelings speak loudly. You are important, you are unforgettable, and you are constantly on his mind. 4. He mirrors your gestures and words. He mirrors your gestures and words, and though it may seem subtle, it is a powerful psychological sign that he is deeply drawn to you. When a man is falling harder, his body unconsciously begins to synchronize with yours. If you lean in, he leans in too. If you cross your arms, moments later you might notice he does the same. When you laugh, he laughs in a similar rhythm, and when you use certain phrases or expressions, he starts repeating them without even realizing it. This mirroring is not an act of imitation, but a natural response that comes from wanting to connect and build rapport. Psychologists call this the chameleon effect, where people subconsciously mimic those they admire or feel close to. In relationships, it is a strong indicator of attraction and emotional alignment. By matching your energy, he is silently saying, "I'm with you, I get you, and I want us to feel connected." It is his way of creating harmony between you without forcing it, allowing you to feel more at ease in his company. This behavior also shows that he pays close attention to you. He is so focused on your presence that his body language adapts to yours naturally. It is a nonverbal form of empathy, where he aligns himself with your emotions and state of mind. Over time, these mirrored gestures and words become a quiet dance between you, strengthening the bond without either of you needing to spell it out. When a man mirrors you in this way, it is not just about attraction. It is about a deeper longing for unity, a desire to be understood, and an unspoken way of showing that his feelings are growing stronger with every moment spent together. He prioritizes your happiness over his. He prioritizes your happiness over his. And that is one of the strongest indicators that his feelings go beyond simple attraction. When a man is falling harder, he naturally shifts his focus toward making sure you feel cared for, comfortable, and valued, even if it means sacrificing some of his own comfort. You might notice he chooses a restaurant he knows you like even if it isn't his favorite, or he gives up time he could spend elsewhere just to be with you when you need support. These actions are not about obligation, they are rooted in a deep desire to see you smile. This kind of selflessness shows that your well-being has become a priority in his life. He pays attention to your moods, notices when you are upset, and tries to lift your spirits in small but meaningful ways. Whether it's sending you a thoughtful message during a busy day, running an errand you mentioned in passing, or simply listening without judgment when you need to vent, his choices reveal that your happiness matters to him. At the same time, prioritizing your happiness is a quiet act of love because it requires effort and intention. He is willing to inconvenience himself if it means bringing you peace or joy. It's not about grand gestures, but about consistent care that builds trust. This pattern of behavior shows he is emotionally invested and sees you as someone whose needs are just as important, if not more, than his own. When a man consistently puts your happiness at the center of his decisions, it reflects a growing devotion, one that signals he is not only falling for you, but that he is already beginning to imagine a future where your joy and his are forever connected. He gets nervous. When you're around, he gets nervous when you're around, and that nervousness is often the clearest sign that his feelings for you run deep. Confidence might come naturally to him in other areas of life, but when emotions are involved, even the most composed man can lose his balance. You may notice small signs. His voice softens or cracks slightly, his hands fidget, he avoids steady eye contact for too long, or he laughs at things that aren't particularly funny. These behaviors are not because he feels uncomfortable with you, but because he cares so much about the impression he is making. Nervousness in this context comes from vulnerability. Being near you matters so much to him that he doesn't want to say the wrong thing or reveal too much too soon. His heart races because your presence excites him, and that energy makes it difficult to stay calm. Sometimes he may stumble over words or overthink simple conversations, but it is only because he is fighting against his own emotions spilling out. This kind of reaction reveals that he sees you as more than just a casual acquaintance. If he were indifferent, he would feel no pressure, but the nervous energy proves that your opinion of him truly matters. In fact, many men only show this kind of anxious behavior when they are falling for someone and are unsure how to handle the intensity of their feelings. Over time, as his comfort with you grows, the nervousness may turn into warmth and confidence. But in the early stages, these little slips and fidgets are signs of a heart that beats faster in your presence, a heart that is falling harder with each encounter. He introduces you to his close friends. He introduces you to his close friends, and that move carries more weight than it might seem at first glance. When a man is falling harder, he wants to weave you into the fabric of his life, and friends are often the first step before family. His inner circle represents trust, loyalty, and the people whose opinions matter most to him. By bringing you into that circle, he is not only showing pride in being connected to you, but also signaling that he sees you as someone important enough to share with those who know him best. This introduction is more than just a casual hangout. It's a test and a statement rolled into one. On one hand, he wants to see how you fit with his closest companions, because their comfort and approval matter to him. On the other hand, it's his way of saying, you're not just someone I spend time with, you're someone I want my friends to know. The effort of arranging those meetings, making you feel included, and highlighting your qualities in front of his friends all reveal the pride he feels in having you by his side. Often, men protect their closest relationships and they don't invite just anyone into that space. If he goes out of his way to make sure you're introduced, welcomed, and even integrated into his social group, it's because he envisions you as a long-term part of his life. This step marks a transition from private affection to public acknowledgement. It's a silent declaration that you're not hidden in the shadows of his world. You belong right at the center of it. Through this act, he reveals that his feelings are not fleeting, but solid and growing stronger every day. He listens to you attentively. He listens to you attentively, and that alone separates him from someone who is only casually interested. When a man is falling harder, your words hold weight for him. He doesn't just hear what you say. He absorbs it, reflects on it, and often remembers it later. You can tell by the way his eyes stay focused, how he nods slightly at the right moments, or how he asks follow-up questions that prove he is genuinely engaged. In a world full of distractions, giving you his full attention is one of the most intimate gifts he can offer. Attentive listening goes beyond polite conversation. It shows that he values your thoughts, your feelings, and your perspective on life. Even when you talk about small details, like how your day went or a random memory, he treats it as meaningful because it came from you. That level of focus signals not only care, but also respect. He is silently saying, "What matters to you matters to me," and in doing so, he builds trust without needing grand declarations. This kind of listening also creates emotional safety, when he gives you space to speak without interrupting or brushing off your feelings. It shows he is invested in understanding you at a deeper level. Over time, this attentive presence makes you feel seen, heard, and valued in ways that casual relationships cannot provide. His willingness to set aside distractions, tune in to your emotions, and hold on to your words is a reflection of the depth of his affection. In every moment he listens with full attention, he is revealing his heart, quietly proving that he is falling harder for you with every conversation. 9. He tries to impress you. Subtly, he tries to impress you subtly, and those little efforts often reveal more than bold declarations ever could. Instead of showing off in obvious ways, he finds small, thoughtful gestures that catch your attention without making it seem forced. He might fix something for you before you even notice it's broken, hold the door at just the right moment, or casually share an accomplishment in conversation without exaggerating. These quiet attempts are his way of saying, "I want you to see me at my best," while still appearing natural. Subtle impressing often shows in the way he carries himself around you. He may straighten his posture, choose his words carefully, or adjust his appearance before meeting you. He does this not out of vanity, but because your opinion matters so much that he wants to present his most confident version. Even in group settings, you might notice that he speaks up a little more, contributes ideas, or shows kindness toward others, because he knows you are watching and he wants you to see his character shine. These efforts are never about grand gestures meant to overwhelm. Instead, they are carefully balanced actions designed to make you feel valued while keeping his feelings guarded. He wants to earn your admiration through consistency, not theatrics. Over time, these subtle attempts build a pattern, proof that he is deeply invested in how you see him. When a man is falling harder, impressing you is not about ego. It is about hope. Hope that you'll notice, appreciate, and respond to the quiet ways he is trying to show he's worthy of your affection. 10. He makes time for you, no matter what. He makes time for you no matter what, and that is one of the strongest signs his feelings for you are genuine and growing. In a busy world where everyone is pulled in different directions, choosing to consistently create space for someone is an act of devotion. When a man is falling harder, he doesn't just fit you into his schedule. He rearranges his schedule to make sure you're part of it. Even on the days when work piles up or his energy is low, he finds a way to call, visit, or check in, because staying connected to you has become a priority. This commitment shows that you're not just another task on his list, but someone who matters enough to rise above all other distractions. You'll notice that he doesn't use busyness as an excuse. Instead, he looks for opportunities to be with you, even in small ways. A short walk, a late-night conversation, or running an errand together all become meaningful, because what matters to him is being close to you. His time is his most valuable resource, and when he gives it freely, it means you've taken a special place in his heart. This behavior also signals consistency, which is rare in surface-level attraction. Anyone can show up occasionally, but When he shows up again and again, regardless of circumstances, it reveals depth. It shows that he sees you as part of his present and is already imagining you in his future. When a man makes time for you no matter what, he is not only proving his affection, he is quietly declaring that you are worth every effort, every sacrifice, and every moment he can give. He gets protective without realizing it. He gets protective without realizing it, and that instinct often reveals just how deeply his emotions are tied to you. Protection in this sense isn't about control or dominance. It's about care that slips out naturally, even when he doesn't plan it. You might notice it in small gestures. The way he walks on the side of the sidewalk closer to traffic, how he checks in to make sure you got home safely, or how his expression changes when someone speaks harshly to you. These are reflexes, not rehearsed behaviors, showing that your safety and comfort are constantly on his mind. This protective nature often shows up in conversations too. If you mention being tired, he may urge you to rest. If you're worried, he might reassure you with solutions or calming words. He isn't trying to take over your life. He simply wants to shield you from stress and harm because your well-being matters to him more than his own. The beauty of this protectiveness is that it often surprises even him. He may not realize how instinctively he reacts until it becomes a pattern. Psychologically, this happens when someone starts to form a deep emotional bond. His care extends beyond attraction and moves into devotion, where he feels responsible for your happiness and safety. It is not about being possessive. It is about being present and reliable when you need it most. When a man gets protective without realizing it, his heart is showing its truest form. He wants to guard the person he values most, even if all he can do is offer a steady hand, a kind word, or a quiet presence by your side. He values your opinions deeply. He values your opinions deeply, and that reveals a level of respect that goes beyond casual interest. When a man is falling harder, he doesn't just listen to your words. He seeks them out because he genuinely wants to know what you think. He might ask for your perspective on decisions big and small, from career choices to everyday matters, because your voice carries weight in his life. It's not about agreement all the time. It's about trust. He trusts that your insight will guide him, inspire him, or help him see things from a different angle. This behavior shows that he sees you as an equal partner, not just someone to impress. By valuing your opinions, he is revealing that he respects your mind as much as he admires your presence. You'll notice this when he pauses after you speak, considering your words carefully, or when he recalls your advice later and acts on it. Even in disagreements, he gives your viewpoint the space it deserves, showing that your thoughts are not dismissed but considered with seriousness. Psychologically, when a man places high importance on your opinions, it reflects emotional investment. He is beginning to merge his life with yours, even in subtle ways, because your perspective has become part of his decision-making process. It's not just affection, it's partnership forming at its earliest stage. When he consistently demonstrates that your words influence his choices, it's proof that he sees you as more than temporary. He sees you as someone whose wisdom and insight could shape his journey for years to come. He compliments you in unexpected ways. He compliments you in unexpected ways, and those moments often reveal the depth of how he truly sees you. Instead of relying only on the usual compliments about beauty or style, he notices the small and often overlooked things that make you unique. He might admire the way you laugh when you're not trying to impress anyone, or how passionate you get when you talk about something you love. He may tell you that your perspective on life inspires him, or that the way you treat people leaves an impression on him. These compliments go beyond surface attraction. They touch your personality, your habits, and your soul. When a man is falling harder, he wants you to know that he sees all of you, not just the parts the world admires, but the hidden details others might miss. That's why his compliments feel refreshing and unexpected. They don't come from a script or cliché. They come from careful observation, from paying attention to who you really are. This kind of praise is his way of saying, I notice you, I value you, and I appreciate the little things that make you different. These compliments also reveal sincerity, because they are often delivered in moments when he isn't trying to win you over. Maybe he notices how determined you are after a tough day, or how kind you were to a stranger, and he tells you without hesitation. His words carry a quiet honesty, and they stick with you because they feel genuine. When a man consistently gives compliments that surprise you, it is his heart speaking through his observations, showing that his affection runs deeper than attraction. It is admiration, respect, and growing love. 14. He opens up about his vulnerabilities. He opens up about his vulnerabilities, and that is one of the clearest signs he is falling harder for you. Many men are taught to guard their weaknesses, to keep emotions tucked away behind a strong exterior. But when he begins to trust you deeply, those walls start to come down. He may share stories about his past, his fears for the future, or the struggles he hides from everyone else. These admissions are not given lightly. They are gifts of honesty that reveal he sees you as a safe place where he can be his truest self. When he lets you see the cracks beneath his confidence, it means he believes you won't judge or reject him for being human. Vulnerability requires courage, and the fact that he chooses to be vulnerable with you shows how much he values your presence in his life. He is not just showing you the polished version of himself, but the real man, complete, with doubts, insecurities, and dreams he might not share with anyone else. This openness also strengthens the bond between you. By letting you in, he is inviting a deeper level of intimacy, one that goes beyond physical attraction or casual connection. He is saying, without words, "I trust you with the parts of me I usually hide." That level of trust signals that his feelings are no longer fleeting. They are rooted, sincere, and growing stronger with every shared secret. When a man opens up about his vulnerabilities, it is proof that his affection has moved from interest to emotional commitment, and that he is falling for you in a way that is both raw and real. He shows up when you need him most. He shows up when you need him most, and that is one of the strongest signs that his feelings are genuine and deeply rooted. Anyone can be around during the fun, easy moments, but it takes real care and commitment to appear when things are difficult. When a man is falling harder, he doesn't disappear when life gets heavy. Instead, he becomes present. Whether it's lending an ear after a stressful day, helping you through a crisis, or simply sitting beside you in silence, his presence is steady and dependable. This consistency proves that you are more than just a passing interest to him. He prioritizes being there not because it's convenient, but because he can't bear the thought of you feeling alone. His actions show that your struggles are his concerns too, and that your happiness and safety matter to him as much as his own. Even when he cannot solve the problem, he stays by your side, offering support, comfort, and reassurance that you won't have to face it alone. Showing up also means reliability. Over time, you begin to see that he keeps his word, follows through on promises, and makes sacrifices to be present when it counts. This kind of commitment cannot be faked. It comes from the heart of someone who truly cares. When he shows up at your most vulnerable moments, he is silently declaring that he wants to be part of both your joys and your struggles. It's in those times that his love reveals its truest form, not loud, not showy, but constant, dependable, and real.